Welcome back to Craig's Custom Cooking. Today I'm going to show you how I make my homemade bacon. I'm going to make it in 3 different ways. The first one's going to be pepper bacon, the second one's going to be maple, and then the third one's going to be maple syrup and whiskey, or bourbon. So let me get everything set up and I'll show you the process. Alright, here I have my bacon, my pork belly. This one is 3 pounds, this one is 3 pounds, this one is 2 pounds. Altogether, I have 8 pounds of pork belly here. These two have a thicker, the skin's been taken off, all of them. These two have a thicker fat cap than this one. You can see it's really nice underneath. They got a really good mixture of fat and meat, which is what you want. You don't want a lot of all fat, you want meat and fat mixed. This one has got a really good mixture too, and these two actually came as one, and I cut it in half because in order to fit it in my vacuum seal bags, I had to make it smaller. Alright, so in order to get the accurate cure that you need for your bacon, you have to weigh each piece and convert it to grams. So if I turn this on, it'll come up in grams. I don't know if you can see that or not. But I put a plate on here, then I tear out the entire weight, and then I find out which one weighs what in grams. Now it's going to come up kilograms if it's over a certain amount, and it's easy to convert kilograms. 1 kilogram is 1,000. So if it comes up 1.5, well, this one here is 1.705. So it's 1705 grams. So then I go online to, there's a website called Local Food Heroes. They have a calculator that'll tell you exactly how much salt, curing powder, sugar, whatever you got to put in this to cure it. So I did that. So this slab here calls for 23 grams of white sugar. So I have that measured out here. Then it calls for 5 grams of pink curing salt. I have that here. I'm going to show you this. This is a pink curing salt. It can't be mistaken for any other salt because they make it pink, and you do not want to cook with this. This is only for curing meats. And you can buy this online. So you use pink curing salt. I used 27 grams of kosher salt. Then the rest of these ingredients stayed the same for all of them. 3 tablespoons of black powder. 4 tablespoons of brown sugar. These are juniper berries that I buy online. They come off of a juniper tree, a pine tree. They add a really good flavor to your bacon. So it calls for 2 tablespoons of those. I put them in my mortar and pestle and I crush them. So it releases some of the flavor out of them. So we're going to put them in. Now we're just going to take a whisk and we're going to whisk all this together. It doesn't have to be 100% mixed up, because when you put it on here in the bag, well, after a day or so, the salt's going to draw moisture out of the bacon. So it's going to get like a liquid in the bag. So you're just going to keep flipping it every day. Alright, we're just going to reach in here. Just make sure it's mixed up real good. And then we are going to sprinkle this on the back side of the pork belly. Now the juniper berries are going to fall off. We'll put them in when we go into the bag. And we're going to push this in real good. the next step. Now the easiest way that I found to do it is you're going to roll your pork belly up like so. Like I said, the juniper berries and some of it are going to fall out, but we'll put it back in. It's very slippery. But you're going to stick this in your bag. Push it down to the bottom. I'm going to take my scraper. All my berries and all my cure and put in the bag. Flip the bag over. We take the rest of our cure, just dump it in the bag. Get in here and you want to make sure you cover the whole top of it. Push it in, and that's it. Now I have my vacuum sealer here. I always roll the top 2 inches down on the bag when I'm putting the meat in. That way it keeps them clean. So then we flatten it out. I'm going to stick this in our vacuum sealer. This might get loud. Now I'm going to let it take some of the air out, not all of it. And now I'm going to seal it. If you suck too much out, it's going to suck the juices into your machine. Now we'll just wait for it to complete sealing. And there you go. That is one of our pork belly slabs. It's ready to go in the refrigerator for 7 days. And when we take it out in 7 days, we're going to rinse all of this off. And then I'll smoke it on my Masterbuilt smoker. So let me get the other 2 ready, and I'll show you what they look like when they're all done. Alright, in this bowl, I have all my ingredients like I put in the last one, but I put 4 ounces of bourbon in it, or whiskey. You can use either one. Now I'm just going to take this, stir it up real good, and then I'm going to pour this in the bag. Get everything out of it. And we're going to massage this in so it gets on both sides. Alright, as you can see, I got the cure on that side. I got the cure pretty good on this side, but every day we're going to flip these. So it'll eventually coat the whole side on both sides. So this one's ready to go in the fridge. Let me get the last one ready. Alright, all the same ingredients are in here. I backed the brown sugar down to 1 tablespoon instead of 4. And then we're going to add a 1/2 cup of maple syrup. This is grade A maple syrup. It's a really good maple syrup. And then we're just going to mix all this together. So I'm going to take my last pork belly and pour all this in there. Let me get it massaged around, I'll bring you back. Alright, here are my finished slabs of bacon. Well, they're not bacon yet, they're pork bellies. And I write on the top which one. This is your regular, this is the one with the whiskey in it, and this is the maple. You can see that I wrote it at the top of each one of them. That way you don't get them mixed up. These are going to be in the refrigerator for 7 days, so it's really easy to forget which one is which. So that's why I write on the top. The other thing I wanted to point out about this is called Prog number 1 powder. They make a Prog number 2, but you don't want to use that for making bacon. That is only for drying meats. So you want to use Prog pink salt, curing salt, and a teaspoon is 5.6 grams. None of these called for a full teaspoon. This one called for 5. This one called for 5. This one called for 3. So you use this very sparingly. This can be very unhealthy if you eat too much of it. But if you use it according to the calculator, and again, that's on localfoodheroes.com. Go to the top, it says calculator. You'll get a drop down. It'll say cured bacon. You click on that. It'll take you to the calculator. You just put in the grams of your meat that you weigh, and it'll calculate everything for you. So it's very, very simple. The hard part's done. Now, like I said, these are going to go in the refrigerator for 7 days. At the end of the 7 days, I'm going to take them out of the pack. I'm going to rinse all of this off the outside. Well, you get as much off as you can. You can leave a little bit on it. And then we're going to smoke them. So let me get these in the fridge, and I'll see you back in 7 days, and we'll finish this up.